My dear one, close your eyes now and settle in, for I have a tale to tell you tonight. It is a story from a faraway land, filled with gentle courage and quiet journeys, a story about a precious object and the steadfast hearts who carried its burden. Let your mind drift gently with the words, and find your own peace in their quiet flow. Long, long ago, in a world touched by ancient magic, there was a beautiful, powerful item known as the One Ring. It was forged in a time of darkness by a great and terrible being named Sauron, meant to bring all lands under his sway. But destiny had other plans. In a valiant battle, a king of men, Isildur, gently cut the ring from Sauron's hand, freeing the world for a time from his shadow. Yet Isildur could not bring himself to destroy it, and the ring, with its own subtle will, slipped away, lost for centuries beneath the quiet rivers. It was found, eventually, by a small, tormented creature named Gollum, who guarded it in the deep, dark places of the earth for hundreds of years. But even there, the ring's fate shifted once more. A kind and curious hobbit, Bilbo Baggins, a creature of the most gentle and homely sort, stumbled upon it. He took it, unknowingly bringing a thread of ancient history back into the light. Years passed, quiet and peaceful in Bilbo's home, a cozy burrow in a lovely green land called the Shire. Bilbo grew old, content, and the ring remained a secret, a curiosity in his pocket. Then came the day of his 11th birthday, a grand celebration. Amidst the joy, Bilbo, feeling a peculiar weariness, decided it was time for a change. With a final, warm farewell, he slipped away, leaving all his belongings, including the mysterious ring, to his beloved nephew, Frodo Baggins. Frodo was a kind and thoughtful hobbit, much like his uncle. Soon after Bilbo's departure, a wise and venerable wizard named Gandalf, with a long beard and sparkling eyes, came to Frodo with a troubled heart. Gandalf had been quietly investigating the ring's history and had discovered its true, terrible nature. It was indeed the One Ring, a vessel of Sauron's power, now stirring and seeking to return to its master. The Shire, once so safe, was no longer a place for the ring to stay. Its presence drew shadowy figures, servants of Sauron, known as ring wraiths or black riders, cloaked and silent, their presence chilling to the very air. And so Frodo, with a brave heart, knew he must embark on a journey. He set off quietly from his home, accompanied by his loyal and loving gardener, Samwise Gamgee. Their path led them through rolling hills and fields, but the world outside the Shire was more vast and less gentle. They were soon joined by two more hobbits, Merry Brandybuck and Pippin Took, their spirits bright and their companionship a comfort. As they journeyed, the subtle threat of the Black Riders grew. Their mournful calls drifted through the night, a disquieting sound. The hobbits soon reached a small, welcoming inn in the town of Bree, called the Prancing Pony. Here they met a quiet, watchful man known only as Strider, but who was, in truth, Aragorn, a ranger with a noble and ancient lineage and a true protector. He knew of the dangers and offered his guidance. Just as well, for in the night the Black Riders found their room at the inn. But thanks to Aragorn's foresight, the hobbits were safe, though the sense of unease lingered like a cold mist. Their path continued, now with Aragorn leading them through the wild lands. They climbed to a desolate hilltop called Weathertop. Under a canopy of stars, the Black Riders caught up to them. It was a moment of intense challenge. Frodo, in his fear, momentarily put on the ring, drawing the attention of the shadowy figures. He was wounded by a cold, ancient blade, and a chill began to spread from his shoulder, slowly, subtly, threatening to claim him. Time was short. A beautiful and ethereal elf maiden, Arwen, swift and graceful, appeared like a whisper in the wind. She rescued Frodo, carrying him rapidly on her white horse, her concern a gentle balm. They outran the pursuing riders, crossing a rushing river that, with Arwen's quiet magic, rose to meet their pursuers, washing them away like shadows in the morning. Arwen brought Frodo to Rivendell, a beautiful hidden valley, home to the elves, and ruled by the wise Lord Elrond. Here, in this sanctuary of peace and ancient wisdom, Frodo was gently healed. The air in Rivendell was calm and restorative, and the company of wise beings brought solace. A great council was held, gathering representatives from all the free peoples, elves, men, and dwarves, along with Gandalf and the hobbits. Lord Elrond revealed that the ring could not be wielded for good. It could only bring ruin. It must be destroyed, and the only place this could be done was in the very fires of Mount Doom, deep within Sauron's dark land of Mordor. This was a long and perilous journey, beyond the imagining of most. Frodo, with a quiet strength that surprised them all, volunteered. He understood the immense responsibility, and his small, pure heart was willing to bear it. To aid him, a fellowship was formed. Gandalf, the wise wizard, Aragorn, the noble ranger, Legolas, the keen-eyed elf archer, Gimli, the stout-hearted dwarf warrior, Boromir, a brave man from the realm of Gondor, and of course, Frodo's loyal hobbit companions, Sam, Merry, and Pippin. 9 companions, setting forth on a journey of hope against a looming shadow. Their travels began peacefully, through serene valleys and over gentle hills, but the path to Mordor was not an easy one. They attempted to cross the snow-capped peaks of the Misty Mountains, specifically the treacherous pass of Caradhras. However, dark magic, emanating from the wizard Saruman, who had turned to the side of darkness, stirred the snows and winds against them, making passage impossible. With heavy hearts, they turned to a darker route. Through the ancient underground realm of Moria, a vast network of dwarven mines, now long abandoned and whispered to be filled with unseen dangers. At its entrance, they encountered a strange, tentacled creature which they managed to evade with swift action. Inside Moria, the silence was immense, broken only by their careful footsteps. They traversed great halls and deep passages where the air grew heavy with the weight of forgotten time. They discovered the tomb of Balin, a dwarf lord, and realized that the dark rumors were true. Moria was not empty. They found themselves amidst a multitude of small, scurrying creatures known as goblins, and a moment of vigorous defense was required to continue their passage. Just as they felt they might be through, a magnificent, terrible being of fire and shadow, an ancient evil known as a Balrog, emerged from the depths. Gandalf, with immense courage and resolve, stood firm, redirecting its immense power, allowing his companions to escape, but falling into the chasm himself, a profound loss that settled upon them like a heavy cloak. Sorrowful and weary, the remaining 8 companions emerged from Moria into the quiet, sunlit beauty of Lothlorien, a shimmering forest realm of the elves shrouded in mist and ancient magic. Here they were greeted by the Lady Galadriel and Lord Celeborn, beings of immense wisdom and grace. In this gentle haven, the fellowship found much-needed rest and solace. Lady Galadriel looked into each of their hearts, offering guidance and quiet understanding, gifting them with useful items, and, more importantly, renewed hope. Leaving the tranquility of Lothlorien, they continued their journey by boat, drifting gently down the wide, peaceful river Anduin. The world unfolded around them, calm and vast, until they reached a place of majestic stone statues, the Argonath, marking an ancient boundary. They camped near a green hill named Ammon Hen, the destination for their immediate plans, where they were to decide their next step. It was here, by the river's edge, that the ring's subtle influence began to weave its way into Boromir's noble heart. He, in a moment of great weakness and desperation to save his people, attempted to persuade Frodo to let him take the ring. But the ring's power was too great for any to control. Frodo, understanding the true peril, knew he had to continue alone. As Frodo wrestled with his heavy decision, the stillness of the woods was broken by a sudden, jarring attack. Hideous creatures, mighty Uruk-hai, servants of Saruman, descended upon them. In the ensuing confusion and danger, Merry and Pippin, with their usual quick wits and bravery, drew the attackers away from Frodo, but were eventually overwhelmed and captured. Boromir, in a valiant effort to protect the younger hobbits, faced the challenge bravely, fighting with all his might. Though he inflicted much damage upon the Uruk-hai, he eventually succumbed to his wounds, and his noble spirit found peace amongst the trees. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli found Boromir in his final moments, a scene of quiet heroism. His sacrifice weighed heavily upon them, but it strengthened their resolve. Frodo, having witnessed the battle and Boromir's struggle, knew with absolute clarity what he must do. He would go to Mordor alone, to protect his friends from the ring's terrible sway. But Samwise, ever loyal, would not be left behind. He raced after Frodo, his love and devotion unwavering. And so the two hobbits, small but resolute, set off together across the river towards the distant, daunting lands of Mordor. The Fellowship, now broken, faced a new choice. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli decided their path. They would not follow Frodo, for he needed to find his own way now. Instead, they would honor Boromir's sacrifice and embark on a desperate chase to rescue Merry and Pippin from the clutches of the Uruk-hai, their hearts filled with courage and a shared purpose. And so, my dear one, as the first rays of a new dawn begin to touch the farthest peaks and the quiet journey of Frodo and Sam begins, we leave them walking steadily forward. The world is vast, filled with both challenge and hope. But in the quiet of this moment, feel the gentle peace of their resolve, the strength of their friendship, and the promise of a quiet rest for all. Close your eyes and dream of gentle journeys and peaceful ends.